just my early kind of prediction, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see True Detective until 2021. I don't think the way that this whole article and this news has come out and the way Nic Pizzolatto has spoken about it, I don't think that well, definitely not in 2019, right? Because it just aired in January, February. But I would rule it out for 2020, I think. I don't think we'll see it in 2020. 2021, I think, will be when season 4 will hit. And okay, so then as to the wild idea for it. So, of course, minor spoilers ahead for True Detective Season 3 if you haven't seen it and you plan on watching. But basically, in episode 6, I believe it is, it's episode 5 or 6, I kind of forget off the top of my head, but one of those two, where they basically make an Easter egg, reference, universe reference, I guess, if you will, callback to Season 1. And they show Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson and their two characters, right? Rusty was the main, like the big picture of it, and then they also showed, I think they showed both of them in the picture. And so basically, and they also raised the suspicion as to this crime in season 3 being then connected to season 1 and also establishing a little bit of a universe. But either way, and after the season 3 finale, we know that they weren't connected at all. But even just with showing that picture and the character making reference to it, we know this all takes place in the same universe. Now, of course, it's an anthology. You're getting different stories in different places with different characters. A different cast, of course, as well. But with that, just that reference alone, that now officially establishes that this is a universe that is connected, right? Because this story happened in this, in this universe that he's built, this world that he's built for the show. And so I think just with that, sole thing of, wow, I mean, this is a universe now, right? Season 1's crime exists in the same world that the season 3 crime does. And so I think with that, a lot of people are now speculating on whether they will do a season 1, season 3. They probably will ignore a season 2, any involvement with that. They're probably just going to try to forget that, right? I don't think it'll ever be forgotten. But, so they're going to probably try to do kind of bring in a season 1, bring in season 3, and somehow maybe connect those two, or bring in a new story with some of the season 1 characters, somehow connect these stories a little bit, and bring it down to a big time season 4. And by big time, I'm talking Woody Harrelson, Matthew McConaughey, Mahershala Ali, Stephen Dorff. Like, that big. That's what I'm talking about, and that's what a lot of people are speculating right now. Now, after the season 3 finale, that is kind of a slighter chance, if you will, at that. Because the way that it ended, it turned out that these crimes weren't connected. However, there were some things, between the time, they did 3 timelines in season 3, and so with the timelines, it was about 25 years in there that we really didn't learn anything about, right? We didn't learn much about that time in those 25 years. And so I think a lot of people are speculating that maybe within those 25 years, something may arise there where we, didn't necessarily get explained in season 3, and that might be the connecting to season 1. So to me, if you're going to do a True Detective season 4, and you're gonna bring in a Woody Harrelson, Matthew McConaughey, or somehow at least connect a season 1 to a season 3 somehow, I don't know. That is just going to be big time for HBO. I think everyone who maybe didn't even watch season 3 because they weren't really invested in the series anymore or the IP. I think anyone that enjoyed season 1 is going to want to watch season 4 and see these characters and see how this universe is all connected. And also, season 4 could be the last season of True Detective. We don't know, right? I don't think... Now, season 4 is bad, obviously. Yeah, it has a good chance of being the last one. But, I think if it is the last one, and that's kind of what they're leaning towards, I think you go out with a huge bang. And a huge bang would be Woody Harrelson, Matthew McConaughey, Mahershala Ali, Stephen Dorff. Maybe you bring in another big actor, probably a woman, right? You want to have some diversity in the leading cast. Rachel McAdams was great in season 2. With, the writing that she was given, obviously, she doesn't deserve all the blame, for some of the, bad stuff in there. But anyways, If you want to do that for a season 4, I mean, count me in, right? And I think you can still obviously develop a really great storyline with those characters and do a really great job of connecting things. I mean, Nic Pizzolatto, this has kind of been his, would I say child? I don't know. I kind of want to go that far. I think this is kind of his child in a way, in the way he's been kind of treating this and being able to, kind of write with this and stick with this for, I think it's, been 5 years now since Season 1 came out? I think it was 2014. And so to kind of stick with this and be kind of intertwining these stories just within the past 3 seasons and then kind of go out with a huge bang in Season 4, I think that's the best possible outcome. So anyway, so those are my thoughts. I think a wild idea means connecting those Season 1, stories with maybe a Season 3 and maybe doing a kind of joint thing. And that's, that's big right now, right? With the whole crossovers, team-ups, and all that stuff, right? That's big right now in movies and TV shows alike. And, if you were to do a True Detective, I think you want to talk about 8 million? I wouldn't be surprised you get 16 million. I mean, to be honest, just think of that. Think of the possibilities there from just that cast alone. And then you get Nic Pizzolatto in there as the showrunner, writer, director. He does everything for the show. I think the possibilities are endless. The potential is just through the roof. But anyways, love to hear your thoughts on that one. What do you think this wild idea is? Or could it just be a whole new different idea and somehow, basically establish a whole new story? And, that could obviously be possible too. Hopefully they'd be able to get some big cast members again. And that would be great.